Hi, all. Thanks for joining the first conference on Fruitful India. My name is Umesh Maheshwari. I'm the founder of the Fruitful India Fund, and today I would like to share my motivation and some history behind starting the Fruitful India Initiative. It goes back to my childhood days. I grew up in Jabalpur in Madhya Pradesh. My father was in the government services and he was given a bungalow with some land around it. On this land, we grew lots of guava trees. Now, this place was at the outskirts of the city, and often kids from a nearby village would come to our house asking to get some fruit. I was not so keen on sharing, but I would give them some guavas anyway. It wasn't until I grew older that I realized how beneficial those guavas might have been for the village kids, giving them not just calories, but gut friendly fiber, vitamin C, and perhaps lots of other phytocompounds that I don't even know about. This led me to my first insight that widespread cultivation of fruit trees can help reduce malnutrition by providing marginalized communities with direct access to nutritious food. No processing needed, no middlemen needed. It's from tree to mouth. Sometime later, in the early 2000s, I was in the US, and it was a time when there was a growing awareness of climate change. In particular, in the tech industry, there was a drive to develop semiconductor based solar panels. I said to myself, wait a minute, trees are the best, the natural solar panels. Why don't we grow more trees to fight climate change? By this time, I was already a fan of fruit trees for the nutrition they provided. So I put two and two together, and this led me to my second insight that growing fruit trees is one of those interventions that are positive not just for human development, but also for the planet. So eventually, in 2017, I put aside some money to create the Fruitful India Fund. At first, I thought I would start a project for planting fruit trees. Then I thought I would create a research center focused on fruit trees. But quickly I realized that India already has a lot of organizations implementing projects related to trees. India already has a lot of research centers focused on fruit trees. In fact, my guess is that most of you belong to such an institution. This led me to the third insight that what we need is a center that can act as a catalyst and a promoter for pre-existing institutions. A center that can promote widespread cultivation of fruit trees. And by widespread, I mean not concentrated in orchards, but on wastelands, in kitchen gardens, on bunds between fields, roadside, forest fringes, places where marginalized communities have direct access to fruit. Finally, in 2021, I met the perfect partners for this purpose. Specifically, I met Chris Kettle and Smita Krishnan from the Alliance of Biodiversity International and SEAT, and they quickly pulled in Prem Mathur. And that is how the Center for Fruitful India was born. Also, I found two amazing people to guide this effort. First, Seema Paul, who was previously the executive director of the Nature Conservancy in India, and Kamal Bawa of Atri, who actually needs no introduction. Now, having provided all this history, I'm happy to know that it is today that we have finally reached our first major milestone, which is this national conference. And for this, I'm grateful to the entire team at the Center for Fruitful India. I'm also grateful to all of you attending this conference for joining us in this journey. Together, I believe we can make a real dent on the problem of malnutrition in India and at the same time benefit the local ecologies and perhaps the planet as a whole. Thank you. I hope you enjoy the conference.